Surf Foil Session 4 in Zarautz. Today I'm going to try out my Gong Curve H XXL wing in the waves, as the windguru forecast is 1.7 meters, so it's too deep for the Sirus XL. I arrive early because the tide is low at 1 AM, and there won't be enough depth to go out before then. As always, I park far from the beach, free and without any problems, and I approach the beach by bike. I park my bike near the beach and walk to the small harbor. The waves look great, with long, well-spaced waves. It took me a while to get the hang of the drop start on the Curve H XXL. The foil required me to put my front foot further back than on the Gong Sirus XL and XXL, and it took me a while to figure it out. But I finally got the hang of it. The first thing I always do is a few warm-up laps without leaving the harbor. On my first outing to the sea, I didn't find a wave. And the first wave I caught caused my foil to come loose. Even though the Curve H XXL is smaller than the Sirus XL, I find that you have to be careful not to let it come loose. When I don't land too far from the harbor, I prefer to paddle back rather than go to the beach and walk back. The technique is to get close to the wall, and once near the wall, there's a current that helps you reach the harbor. On my second attempt, I catch a fairly easy wave, but I haven't yet gotten used to the new foil. Since waves of reasonable size were expected today, I brought the leash with me, positioned as I explained in another video that I've included in the description. This time I got it right with a spring leash, placing it just below my knee and tying it to the front screw of the mast and to the side of my front foot. Once positioned, leave the leash to the right, or on the side corresponding to your front leg, and do a normal drop start without thinking about it. I only stepped on the leash once all morning. The problem with high tide is that sometimes the waves are far away. This summer they put a log in the harbor for balancing and jumping. But balancing isn't my thing. The bad thing about sunrise is that the sun's glare sometimes blinds you, and it's hard to see the waves and feel the height of the foil. With the Curve H XXL, I can pump in flat water, but I get too tired for long runs. On this wave, I think I broke my speed record with the foil. It scared me a little. I was already starting to feel more comfortable with the new wing and catching waves more easily. Luckily I had the leash because those foams sometimes carry the foil far away, and it could hit someone or go into the rocks. This is one of the best waves of the day. I even managed to get out of it to link up with the next one. There were more and more surfers, which seemed a little scary before going out, but once in the water, I was able to find spots without any problems. When the tide is quite low, you don't have to walk all the way to the beach. You can return via some intermediate stairs that shorten the walk considerably. There were no waves, so we had to take a detour. The tide was still falling, and at 1.2 meters, the exit from the harbor was no longer safe because there was a high risk of hitting the sand accumulated during the summer. So I wandered around looking for an alternative exit but found nothing.